We're recording. You gonna start?
Okay. Hey y'all.
Hey.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Derek.
And we are the Flip Flop Barnyard.
Yes.
Flip Flop Barnyard. I probably mumbled that together. Flip. Anyway, if you've been here for a while, you already know us. If you're new here, hello, welcome. We're excited to have you here.
Yep.
We are excited to be part of the Homesteaders of America Garden Tour collaboration. And this is our first video, and you will be seeing us monthly for the next little while here.
Yes.
And we're really excited, and today is the first one, and it is May. So there's not a whole lot going on here. We're in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia, and it is just now hitting planting time.
Planting time, yeah. We've got a few, well, one thing's happening, radishes. But today we're gonna actually put a lot of stuff in the ground, so.
A little backstory, this is our second year on this farm we rent. We are from Virginia, we moved to Florida, Hurricane Michael hit, and we ended up moving. We're back to the mountains. We're back to the mountains. We miss the mountains, we're happy to be here. We gardened in a different spot on this farm last year, and it didn't do very well. We planted green beans 3 different times and got 2 meals worth. And I'm talking, we planted probably 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of green, well, maybe more than that, I don't know. 2 pounds of green beans probably. And we just really struggled last year with the garden.
And green beans are usually the easiest thing to grow.
That's like a staple.
They're kind of our staple.
Yeah, we have 8 kids, so we have a lot of mouths to feed, so we grow lots of green beans and can them. That's one of the easiest things that everybody likes. So we started this piece of garden right here was just grass a month ago. It was not a garden, and so Derek was able to, and we have videos on how he did that. We prepped this raw spot. The soil's great. We're down here by a creek, and it seems like it's going to be a really great spot to garden. That being said, we have planted a few things.
Yeah, we planted carrots, radishes, and green beans and corn. Radishes are the only thing that's came up. Corn may have been too cold. We're going to check it here in a little bit and check and see if any of it's germinating or what's going on with that. The green beans, we had a seeder, one of those like automatic seeders that you push.
We got it on Craigslist.
I don't know if it did a good job or it was just too cold. We have like 5 green bean sprouts out of 1/2 pound of beans.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We just dug to check to see what the seeds look like, and there were some that looked like they started to germinate and then rotted. I don't know. I don't
know if they were too deep or it was too cold, but we're gonna win this green bean battle this year.
It's right at planting time, and everybody had that cold snap last week, so it's kind of crazy.
An unexpected cold snap.
Our green beans had not sprouted yet, but we know the seeds were germinating, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
It could have
been a little bit crazy. So
we're gonna till them all in and restart with green beans because we don't have time to waste this year.
No, we've got another half pound of green bean seeds, and we also have red peanut beans.
Yeah.
Is that they're called? They're another type of green bean. Somebody gave us, they're 6-week beans. I think they're a little bit hard to find. And somebody that we know gave us. Yeah,
one of my customers. I mow grass for a living, and I do a lot of things for a living. But
you actually those garden beds you built the other day.
So. She gave us a 1/2 pound of red peanut beans, so we're excited to try those. She said they have the best flavor of any green bean she's ever had.
So we planted carrots, 0 germination. It's been several weeks, so we're like, okay, scratch the carrots.
Peanut beans.
Yeah, we're gonna till this in, put
bush beans back where the green beans were planted originally.
And let's show them our radishes, because that's the one thing we have going for us right now. This is our first year growing radishes. We didn't really like radishes, and then I was watching Jess on Roots and Refuge, and she roasted radishes like you would roast potatoes, and we tried it, and they were delicious. We loved them, so we were like, well, let's do that. So we have, they're really coming up in there, like a little baby radish in there. You can see it's red right there. So we tried the cedar with them, and it didn't really space them out well, but I'm not real worried about it. I'm just gonna go with it for now.
Yeah, the cedar was an experiment, and I'm not sold on it. I'm not giving up on it yet, but I'm not sold on it.
I'm giving it a thumbs down.
Yeah, so far thumbs down.
We are gonna hand plant our green beans after this, because we're not sure if it put them too deep or what. But
absolutely,
it was dropping a lot of them. We had the video of all that. It dropped too many. But anyway, so our radishes, we have several rows. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Some of them are more sparse than others, and we have spots with lots of radishes. So it was a little, definitely wasn't very consistent, but we'll get some radishes out of it.
We're gonna get a lot of radishes.
Yep. I start most of my pepper and tomato seeds, and my chili, Anaheim chilies did not germinate at all. So we went and bought, I think 9 plants. And I have melons here. They're actually not really that big yet. These have true leaves. But the greenhouse is not temperature controlled. We have to put a heater in there or a fan, and it's getting to that point where it's just, like yesterday was really hot. So it's really hard to control the temperature. So I think these will be better off in the ground than they will be in the little greenhouse at this point. So we're gonna go ahead and plant all this stuff, and then down here we have all of our tomatoes and peppers. I'll show you those. All right, there's Derek and our cow playing in the creek together.
Dirty.
she stands in the creek all the time.
Yeah.
She loves it. Okay.
So I just wanted to show you our watering system down here, because we're not anywhere near a water spigot, but we do have the creek. So we have this little electric water pump. We just got it at Harbor Freight. They're really cheap. And the hose. So I just fire up the generator and run the water pump, and then we can water everything that way. And it might actually be better for having creek water for everything than well water. I'm not sure.
The blue cooler that we drink out of is not creek water, just for the record.
Yeah, that's tap water.
Yeah.
But yeah, we found out if we bring a cooler down here with us, then the kids are much more content to actually stay down here and work, because they don't have the I'm thirsty going on, so they can just constantly drink water the whole time.
Except for the almost 3-year-old, she thinks that she's thirsty the entire time because she gets to drink right out of the spigot.
But that's okay. All right.
I forgot, we put potatoes in.
Yep.
I don't remember how many rows.
Well, there's 1, 2, 3 rows of potatoes.
Okay, and we put in russets and red potatoes. And we just get organic potatoes from the grocery store and let them sprout eyes.
Stick them in the bottom of the cabinet in the dark and let them sprout.
Yep, we found that to be the cheapest way to get seed potatoes, because we want to grow organic anyways, and organic seed potatoes that we found at the store were pretty expensive and they didn't look very good. So that's how we do it usually. So we do have that here, and we bought 50 sweet potato slips.
Yes.
From a local store, because we were going to sprout sweet potatoes, but
there's a timing issue.
Yeah, we didn't get
we ran out of time.
We were like, well, we'll wait. They came in, we went and got them, put them in a jar, and in like 2 days they were pretty much all dead. Yeah. So we went to take them back, and she said, yeah, that shipment she thinks got too cold, and so she was very apologetic, and she said, I have a few left, but we have more coming next week, so I'd rather y'all wait until next week and get ones that we know are going to be good. Yeah. So we were like, yeah, we will wait. So she's going to let us know when they come in, and we'll just go get those, and we'll have 2 rows. We should have 2 rows or so sweet potatoes. So that'll be exciting.
Should be exactly 2 rows.
Yep. This area, we're going to do some stuff, melons
and things. We're not sure how much we're still going to have to use for planting our squash and all the other things yet. So we're working. We started at each end, working towards the middle, and the middle will be the melon bed.
Yeah, we're going to,
whatever we end up with.
Derek tilled down here yesterday, but then it just got too hot to actually do anything.
Yeah, we tilled the rows for the tomatoes.
It was good. We were going to plant yesterday evening with the tomatoes, but then it was calling for thunderstorms in the evening. So then we tried to come down here in the middle of the day, and it was like 85 and super sunny, and it was just like, you know what, let's
wait till a cooler time.
Let's just wait. This is where, oh look, we have some corn. Is that corn?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So that's not grass, is it?
No.
Yep. So we do have some corn coming up. It's just sweet corn. I think it was golden bantam sweet corn. So we have quite a few rows, because we had like, I can't remember, it was a bag, and it was like, I think 800 seeds or something. Yeah. And it was most of the bag. We had used some of it last year, but it was, so we should get a good bit of corn off of this,
This will be awesome, yeah.
Hopefully. This soil, in theory, should be really great. It's right here in the bottom by the creek. It looks good. Our berm, we should show them our berm here. All right, so this berm goes from here all the way down there. And this is where Derek scraped.
Hold on.
Okay, so the berm came from where Derek scraped the top of the soil off here with the grass, and he pushed it up here. One reason we needed to put it somewhere, but second reason is this is a low area, and it doesn't flood often, and it doesn't usually come up this high if it floods, but sometimes it floods, and so this berm just gives us that extra protection for the garden if it were to come that high. It would have to really, really flood like have a 100-year flood to come that high. But with the way things have gone in our life the last few years, we were like, you know what?
Extra precaution.
Extra precaution. So that's what we did. The girls started sunflowers, and so you can't see them right now, but they have come through and planted sunflowers every few feet on the top of the berm. We hope they come up and look really cool just all along the top here. They're really pretty sunflowers.
All right, y'all. So this is the woods and brush surrounding our garden.
I call it a jungle.
Jenna, yeah, she calls it a jungle. This is why we put the electric fence up, to keep the deer and rabbits out, and hopefully it works. So
it's
just kind of
the poultry netting there as well to be even more of a deterrent for rabbits.
Yeah, I wish we had enough to go around the whole thing, but we don't have enough right now.
All right, we are surrounded by peppers and tomatoes.
Yes,
mostly tomatoes. I always start tons of tomatoes. I really love them and love starting them, and I do tons of varieties. So I think I have 20-something all heirloom varieties. I started them in these type cells. They're gonna fall over.
Yeah, don't pick it up.
I can't pick it up because they're. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. I started them in these, and they just didn't seem to do as well as I had hoped. They got to where they didn't seem like they were growing, and so I moved them to these cups. A lot of times I'll start them all in solo cups and just keep them in that. So I put them in these cups, and they grew a little bit, but I would expect them to be like this big by now.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like at the point where, like I said, the greenhouse is becoming an issue with trying to regulate temperature, and I think, you know what, they're going to be better off to be in the ground. They'll have a better chance of survival.
I think they're going to take off once we put them in.
I think they'll take off. There's quite a few that are pretty healthy, but then there's some that look pretty puny.
Yeah.
We'll just see, but we're going to go ahead and get them in, planted in the ground. We've got the peppers, and then my peppers did better this year than last year. So that was pretty good. I was excited about that because last year my peppers did not do very well. Like I said, I think the Anaheim chili was the main variety that did not sprout this year, and I went ahead and bought some because we use a lot of chili. Yeah, we use a lot of chilies. So, and then we have a bunch of cucumbers. They're in these little cells. They look like they're struggling a little bit, not bad, but a little bit, and they don't have true leaves, but again, I think they'll be better off in the ground than in these cells.
Yeah.
We have okra as well, and it's a little bit early for okra, I realize that, but same thing again, we're gonna just go with it. So we have some squash back there.
We have enough time. We started these things to try to get ahead. If something happens and it doesn't do well, then we have time to direct sow seeds, especially like with the okra and things.
And cucumbers, stuff that's not like super
But
long.
if it works, we're ahead of the game, which will be great.
And we have a good long growing season.
Yeah, we do.
We're in 7A, zone 7A, so we have, usually they say after Mother's Day, which was last weekend, you plant, and then we plant usually pretty good until like mid-October.
Yeah.
Usually. Now, it can always be different, but hopefully, I think everything will go well. We'll get them all on the ground, and by this time next month, when you are seeing our update, there should be a big difference.
Absolutely.
A big difference. Lots of greens, hopefully lots of green beans, and I'll be really excited. So
anyway, let's get some planting.
Yeah, we're gonna get these plants in the ground.
That was a lot of work.
A lot.
A lot of measuring, a little bit of tilling, but a lot of sorting and figuring out what was what.
We called it reinforcements after a while.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more than I had actually anticipated planning.
I knew it was going to be a lot.
Well, I had intentions of selling plants this year, but they didn't, for one, they didn't get all that big. They're not really marketable, I don't think. And we mixed up the labels in the beginning when we started them, and then well, they didn't get labeled properly. Let's just leave it at that.
We think they're mostly right, but
we'll figure, they're close enough that we'll figure it out when they come up and they're producing fruit. We'll know what tomato is what, but
yeah,
it's all right. It doesn't really matter. But and so I don't remember the exact number of varieties I've planted, but I went and counted. We have 164 tomato plants, 77 pepper plants, 10 Goldie ground cherries, and 5 pineapple tomatillos planted. So we've took up a whole lot more room than we were planning on using.
It's okay. There'll be food.
We usually trellis tomatoes with cattle panels, but we have hijacked a lot of the cattle panels for pigs.
Yeah.
Right now, and we're going to use what we have left, I think we're going to use for our cucumbers. And so you're going to build trellises.
I've got an idea for trellises for tomatoes, so they'll be free.
Yep, they'll be free. We'll work on those, but these aren't anywhere near trellis. They're a while out from trellis. So
I bet they're going to take off though once they get in this ground.
I think so. I think they'll do good. But I mean, I'm excited. It's a lot. It's a little bit overwhelming. Obviously, we still have to plant them. They're just we've set them out where they go. We're going to have to come through and plant them here shortly, and then we're going to add our cucumbers. Are going to go in. We're going to put in okra, and we're not sure about melons at this point because
we got to do squash too.
Yeah, we've run out of most of our space, so.
Remember at the beginning of the video, we talked about green beans and tilling this and putting green beans in? Well, we'll have to reduce the amount of green beans we plant, but it's okay.
We had 15 rows set aside, like we had planted the green beans that didn't really come up. So we have row spacing of 15, so we can shrink that in some, and we're tilling the carrots, and then our radishes will just be a couple more weeks and they'll be up, so we'll have that whole space. And we usually do green beans in succession anyways, because they're quick. They're 60 days, so they're pretty quick. And that way we don't have to can, you know, a ton at one time. And we'll do a lot, but it gets overwhelming if you plant massive amounts. You know, you're trying to can them all at one time. It's a little much.
It gets to be too much. But anyway, so here's our garden. Hopefully y'all enjoyed our first garden tour. Yep. Be sure to
check everybody else out.
Check everyone out, and
link below to the playlist from Homesteaders of America for this.
Yep.
And keep follow us for the garden tour every month. We actually will, on our channel here, if you stick around, you'll see the garden between now and the next month on the Homesteaders of America collaboration, so you can kind of follow along and see how it goes, and just check out all the other channels that are participating. It's really exciting to have a group of homesteaders, such a large community that's just so tight-knit. It's really great, and it's exciting for us to be able to share our hearts and what we're doing, and see other people sharing what they're doing, because as homesteaders we put our hearts and souls into everything we do, and gardening is a huge part of that. So
it is.
It's just an honor to share that with you all, and we hope that you will enjoy that and enjoy everybody else doing the same.
Absolutely.